At least 3 people were injured overnight into Friday in Kharkiv and Sumy, 2 Ukrainian cities, after Russian drone attacks. According to Associated Press, emergency services were seen in Kharkiv and Sumy dousing flames and clearing rubble following the strikes. The State Emergency Service of Ukraine reported Friday that it had managed to contain a fire that broke out at a 4-story building in Kharkiv. 2 people were injured, local authorities said. In Sumy, strikes on residential buildings left 1 person injured. The strike came after U.S. President Donald Trump said he would meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin even if the Russian leader won't meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. The comments suggested the U.S. and Russia could soon hold a summit. Months of U.S.-led efforts have yielded no progress on stopping Russia's invasion of its neighbor. The war has killed tens of thousands of troops on both sides and more than 12,000 Ukrainian civilians, according to the United Nations. The Russian Ministry of Defense reported on Thursday that its air defense systems shot down Storm Shadow missiles over occupied Crimea Peninsula. According to official information, 8 missiles were downed over Crimea, while some Russian telegram channels reported at least 9 missiles being intercepted. Ukrainian media has published a video showing a column of smoke rising near Sudak city in Crimea. Moreover, the traffic in the Kerch bridge through which Russia supplies its military in occupied parts of Ukraine has been halted. Russian air defense systems were active on Thursday morning in Simferopol, Dzhankoy, Krasnogvardeysk, and Belogorsk regions. On the same day, Ukraine's main intelligence directorate, HUR, announced the destruction of a number of Russian radar systems and a BK-16 high-speed landing craft in Russian-occupied Crimea Peninsula. Posting on its official Telegram channel on Thursday, the main intelligence directorate described the operation as continuation of measures to demilitarize Crimea, which has been illegally annexed to Russia. Evading enemy missiles, combat drones of the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense's Special Unit, Primary, carried out a successful strike on the enemy landing craft of Project 02510 BK-16, as well as destroyed Russian radar systems. Nebo SVU Podlet K-196L6E, the statement reads. Ukrainian military intelligence also stated that after serious losses of air defense assets on the peninsula, inflicted in particular by the Primaris of HUR, the Russian military units in Crimea have started hiding their expensive military assets in dome structures. Another such dome was hit by military intelligence special forces on AI Petri, where Russia had placed the air defense base of the 3rd Radio Technical Regiment, the statement reads. The main intelligence directorate underlined that armed resistance against Russia would continue. It's worth noting that Ukraine's intelligence has intensified its attacks on Russia's military and strategic targets. The Ukrainian Shark reconnaissance drone, actively used on the front lines. So, a Ukrainian Shark UAV managed to fly 110 kilometers to capture footage of occupied Mariupol in Donetsk region, providing valuable reconnaissance data. Drone captures coastlines and enemy ships. The Shark unmanned aerial system is a development of the Ukraspec systems. The UAV is equipped with a highly reliable communication module and a modern camera system that allows it to go deep into the enemy's rear and conduct surveillance at a distance of up to 5 kilometers between the UAV and the object. Recently, Ukrainian manufacturer of reconnaissance UAVs of the Shark series has presented a new model that has a record flight distance of up to 420 kilometers and an extended flight duration of up to 7 hours. The longer range allows the crews to operate beyond the reach of enemy weapons, and new hardware and software solutions ensure stable operation even in the face of GNSS disruption, GPS spoofing, or attempts to intercept control signals. Until the end of autumn, the battles on the front will be as fierce as possible, because now we are probably witnessing the endgame of the war. This opinion was expressed in an interview with Radio Liberty by military expert and serviceman of the 41st Separate Mechanized Brigade Kirill Sazonov. If they are used as attack aircraft, it means there are not enough reserves. I call August hellish, because it will be very tough. We see this in all directions. Until the end of autumn, the fighting will be very tough. This is the end of the hottest war. Then there will either be real peace talks, or the war will become less active. But now, until the end of autumn, Putin will try to bite off the maximum, not caring at all about the price, the military man believes. According to Sazonov, Putin may burn the entire army in the current offensive in order to come up with a ceasefire proposal as early as November. But until then, it will be very difficult for Ukrainian defenders on the front, he believes. At the same time, Sazonov calls for not dramatizing Russia's advancement at the front. In fact, there is no particular progress anywhere. We see the news, we worry about every kilometer, so every day it seems to us that they have advanced here and there. But looking at the map of Ukraine as a whole, in 2 years they have taken 1% of the territory. That is, globally, this is nothing, Sazonov said. According to the military man, Putin's goal is to create the impression that Russia is constantly advancing and is capable of taking over whatever it wants, and therefore Ukraine must be forced to make concessions before it is too late. But in reality, Russia is not powerful, and Putin will not get everything he wants, Sazonov notes. We are not talking about regional centers, that is unrealistic, nor about the entire Donetsk region as a minimum program of the so-called SVO. For them, this is an unrealistic, unsolvable task within several years, says the military man.